but go ahead. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I have to go out and come back in again.
Okay. If you
should we mute it for the yoga part?
Pardon?
Should we mute it for the yoga?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm gonna mute all you guys.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Looks like everybody's good. There we go. All right. So just everybody start laying in Shavasana. So just come down onto your back. And roll your shoulders down your spine. Allow your hands to fall away from your body. Your palms to face the ceiling. And take a really deep breath in all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And then let it out. And just start to breathe nice and deeply at your own pace, inhaling, filling up your belly, filling up your chest. Exhaling, letting it all out. And just take this time right now to really feel your body. Feel the breath coming in and out of your nostrils and mouth. Feel all of the places of your body that are in contact with the ground. Feel your front body supported by your back body. And your back body supported by the ground. And just notice where your thoughts are. Notice what's running through your head. And continue to breathe deeply. Inhaling, filling up your belly, filling up your chest. Exhaling, letting it all out. And take this moment to recognize what you're doing for yourself here. You know, a teacher training doesn't just bring skills, it's a big, deep dive into yourself. And so taking the time, making the investment, both financially and time-wise, it's really huge. Take the time to be proud for yourself. And just as stuff comes up for you, continue to breathe. Really, it's all we've got right now. And the next time you inhale, bring both of your arms up over your head and stretch your arms and your legs away from each other, full body stretch. And then reach the arms over to the right and the upper body over to the right. And walk your legs over to the right. So you're laying on your back and everything's leaning over to the right, and you feel a stretch all the way up the left side of the body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Breathe. You have the option to stay right where you are, or if you want to go just a little deeper, take your right hand and grab a hold of your left wrist, and take your right leg and cross it over your left ankle. Take one more breath here. And slowly unwind, coming back through center. Stretch your arms and your legs away from each other, full body stretch. And then switch to the other side. Reach the arms over to the left, the upper body over to the left, and walk the legs over to the left. And feel the stretch up the right side of the body. Option to stay right where you are, or take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand and cross the left ankle over the right. One more breath here. And then come back through center. Stretch the arms and the legs away from each other. One more time. And then turn over onto your left side. Bring both of your arms out in front of you, one hand on top of the other, and bring your knees up close to your elbows. Rest your head on your mat. And inhale and bring the right arm up into the air. And then exhale and bring it all the way down to the mat behind you. Feel free to adjust. You want to keep both of the knees on the ground and try to get both of your shoulder blades on the mat. You can keep your head right where it is, or you can turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Remember your breath. Feel the twist in your spine. From your hips all the way to the base of your skull. Feel each muscle attached to each vertebrae. Stretching out. Releasing tension. One more deep breath here. And then slowly come back onto your left side with your hands out in front of you. Take your time and roll over onto your right side. Same thing, bring the knees up towards the elbows and the hands out in front of you, one on top of the other, head rests on the ground. And inhale, bring the left arm up into the air. Exhale, bring it all the way down to the mat behind you. Again, keep the knees on the mat and just adjust your shoulder blades to try to get them both to touch the floor. An option to turn the head to look over the left arm, the left shoulder. Just settle and breathe. And feel each of these vertebrae twisting. Each muscle attached on this side stretching out. Releasing tension. Breathe. And slowly come back onto your right side. Bringing both of your hands out in front of you. And use the strength of your left hand to push yourself all the way up to sitting. And just come to an easy cross-legged pose. And roll your shoulders down your spine. And inhale and bring both of your arms up over your head. Reach for the ceiling. And the exhale, bring your left hand to the mat beside you. Lean over, reach to the side. And continue to breathe. And just try to bend a little bit deeper. And try to reach just a little further. And then turn your head to look up at the ceiling. And stay right where you are and just reach the right knee for the mat and feel the stretch up the side of your body from your hip all the way to the tips of your fingers. One more breath here. And then inhale through center and exhale to the other side. And try to bend a little deeper and reach a little further. And turn your head to look up at the ceiling. And breathe. And again, stay right where you are, but reach the left knee for the mat. And feel the stretch up this side of the body. Inhale and bring both of your arms up over your head. Reach as high as you can. Try to touch the ceiling. And then exhale your hands down to the center of your chest. And bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. And bring your heels in towards your groins. But if you bring your heels in towards your groins and your knees go up really high, then don't bring them so close. And take a hold of your feet or your big toes. And inhale and sit up nice and tall. And exhale, fold at your hips and bring your chest closer to your feet, closer to the floor. And just come down as far as you can. And when you can't come any further, just allow your head to hang and your shoulders to round. And breathe. Feel your body. So if it's uncomfortable, that's okay. Just feel it. If it's achy, know that the more you ache, the more the aches are like coming out. So taking the time right now to be uncomfortable, you will feel better later. Just take one more breath here. You can plant your palms on the mat in front of you and then slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. Bring both of your legs out in front of you. Take your time. And then bend the right knee and place the right foot on the mat. Hug your right knee in towards you. And you can either hug and start to turn to the right, or you can take your left elbow on the inside of the right knee and the right hand back behind you and use your elbow to push, to twist you even deeper. So either way Whatever feels good, whatever feels better. Keep the left leg grounded. And as you sit here twisting, think about the twist starting from the base of the spine and coming up, twisting deeper and deeper as you get higher up your back, and then your head turns last. And pull your belly button in towards your spine, and think about your upper body like a cloth that's being wrung out. All the organs, the fascia, the muscles, all of anything that's toxic, it's just being wrung out of you. And then slowly unwind, coming back to center. And just switch sides. Bring the left leg up in towards you, bend the knee, plant the foot on the mat. And both the options. You can hug your knee in and twist to the left, or you can use the right elbow to push against the right knee and the left hand back behind you to twist even deeper. And keep the right leg grounded. Again, start from the base of the spine, feeling the twist all the way up the back. Feel with every inhale you grow taller, and with every exhale you twist deeper. One more breath here. And slowly unwind, coming back to center. Bringing both of the legs out in front of you. Inhale and bring both of your arms up over your head. And exhale, fold at your hips and reach for your toes. Grab a hold of whatever is accessible. So it could be knees, it could be ankles, it can be feet and toes. And inhale and grow a little taller, look up. And then exhale, fold further just a little bit. Allow your head to hang, your shoulders to round. And breathe into the backs of your legs. Notice the body move with every breath. The chest coming closer to the thighs with every exhale. And bring your hands to the outside of your knees and slowly come back up to sitting. And then bring your ankles off to the side and back behind you and come up onto all fours. Plant your palms below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Untuck the toes, put the weight into the tops of the feet. And on your inhale, bring your belly towards the mat, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, push into your hands, arch your back, point the top of your head at the mat. And just start to flow with your breath, inhaling through cow. And exhaling through cat. Really warming up and lubricating your spine. One more round. On your next breath, bring your spine to neutral. Just walk your hands forward just a little bit. Tuck your toes under and then lift up your hips, straighten out your legs, push your chest closer to your thighs, downward facing dog. Alternate the bend in your knees or walk out your dog. Stretching out your calves. And then bend the knees again, bringing them back down to the mat. Take the knees out as wide as your mat and bring your big toes together. Push your hips over your heels and walk your hands out in front of you, extended child's pose. Rest your head on the mat and breathe. Remember to breathe, filling your belly as full as you can. Try to get your belly to touch your thighs. And take one more breath here. And then slowly come down onto your belly. So come up onto your knees and your elbows, and then walk your legs out behind you. Come down onto your belly. And bring your elbows so they're just below your shoulders. And plant your palms on the mat in front of you. And keep the toes untucked. You have the option to keep your head in neutral, or you can hang your head, stretching out the back of the neck. And breathe. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. And let it out with your exhale. And just feel the compression in your lower back. Kind of like it's pushing all of the tension or the aches right out. It's oozing out of your lower back. And for the last couple breaths, you can stay right here, or you can put the weight into the hands and straighten out the elbows, coming from Sphinx pose to seal pose. And if you try that and it doesn't feel good, then come back onto the elbows. And if you try that and you want a little bit more, just walk the hands closer to your body. Stay here, one more breath. And then if you walked the hands in, walk them out. And if you lifted the elbows, bring them back down. And then bring the hands on top of one another, the elbows out to the side, and release your head onto your hands. Lay here on your belly and take nice deep breaths. And just lift your head. From here, we're gonna make our way onto our backs. So you can just roll over if you want all the way onto your back, or you can roll and twist. Be really fancy and make it so that you can still see me if you want. But we're really just gonna go into happy baby and then shavasana. So you also don't have to see much. So when you're laying on your back, bring your knees into your chest and hug them in. And then bring the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Keep the knees bent and reach the outer edges of the feet. And then pull the knees back down towards the floor for happy baby pose. And you can stay stationary, or if you want, you can roll from side to side, just massaging out the lower back. And if there's any pose or anything that your body wants to do right at this moment, feel free to do it. If you feel like you're missing anything, and then when you are ready, just walk your feet away from you until your legs are flat. Making your way into Shavasana. And push the back of your head into your mat and roll your shoulders down your spine. Allow your hands to fall away from your body, your palms to face the ceiling. And take a really deep breath in all the way to the bottom of your lungs. Let it out with a sigh. And just let go of your breath. Allow your body to breathe itself. Take all of the thoughts that you have in your head right now and just allow them to ooze out of the crown of your head, onto your mat, and away from you. And start to relax your body, beginning with the top of your head. Relax your forehead. And let your eyes grow wide. Let your eyes sink into the back of your head. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw. Let the tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Relax your throat and your neck. And let any tension ooze out of the tops of your shoulders onto your mat and away from you. Relax the muscles that run along your spine. Relax your arms, your wrists, your hands. Relax your chest, your abdomen, and let your hips be wide. Relax your thighs and your knees, and your shins, your calves, and your ankles, and your feet. And invite some awareness back into your breath. And wiggle your fingers and your toes into your head from side to side. And pull your knees up into your chest. Hug them in. And roll from side to side. Eventually rolling all the way over onto your right side. Use your bicep as a pillow. Take a breath here. And use the strength of your left hand to push yourself all the way up to sitting. When you get here, roll your shoulders down your spine. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with a sigh. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands together in the center of your chest. Bow your head. And thank you all for allowing me to guide you through your practice this evening. From my heart to yours. Namaste. Okay. And then just take your time transitioning out. Making your way back to whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe I'm gonna take these out. Can you guys hear me?
It's a bit robotic.
How about now? Can you hear me? No? Yes? Okay, good. Okay. And great. So everybody, I'm unmuting everybody. Oops.
Okay.
Okay. And I can't hear. Can I? I took off my AirPods, so it's just messing with things.
I can hear you good.
And can someone talk?
Hey, can you hear me?
Let's change the AirPods.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're a little bit more quiet than you were before.
Okay.
I can hear you still.
Can you hear? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna share AirPods. It's not gonna let me switch in between the two. Okay. So I thought that we could all start with introductions. And most people are uncomfortable in the beginning, so I can start. So I believe all of you guys know me. So I have been a student of yoga since 2000. Sorry, say that again.
You're all robotic.
Oh, okay. Are we back now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It just kind of comes and goes. How is the yoga practice?
Pretty good. Couple little glitchy parts, but
Okay.
not bad. Yeah.
Okay. During the day, the Wi-Fi's been really good, so I want to get into all of that stuff, but let's start with intros. So I can tell when it's glitching because you guys get glitchy, so I'll just stop talking when that happens. Yeah, so I've been practicing since 2000 when I started my nursing career. I had a little baby and started kind of working in homes, taking care of people as an uncertified care worker in a small little place called Bella Coola, and kept practicing. But there was no yoga studios out there, so I did videos. And I met Rodney Yee, who was my yoga guru, and yeah, moved eventually to the city where I started to attend a studio, and the studio I was attending offered a yoga teacher training, so I decided to take it. That was in 2014, so I've been a yoga teacher for 6 years now. But as most of you know, there it glitched again. As most of you know, by then I was an RN and I was in med school. So I quit med school and I quit nursing and just started teaching yoga full time. Because of my anatomy background, I was teaching yoga teacher trainings as soon as I was a teacher. Because the anatomy being offered in my teacher training wasn't that good. So I've taught well over 20 teacher trainings now, and mainly the anatomy, but have started co-facilitating and facilitating the trainings. So that's what I do. And I thought we could popcorn style it, so whoever of you guys wants to go, just start talking, and then, yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your relationship with yoga, and whatever else you want us to know.
Okay, it's cricket. So I'm Natalie. I can't see everybody because I can see Shane. Hi. Is that Shane? Yeah. Hi. Yeah. So I've been really consistent with yoga for the past year. Before that, I would take a class, and I'm like a trail runner, and so I do weights, all these things, and then come back to yoga and find I really love it, and then I dabble off into something else. So the past year has been really consistent. I don't know, I just really got past the whole asanas and the physical part, and so all the other stuff really was a lure to me. So I've been interested in doing the teacher training for that, for me to get a deeper dive. So I don't know if you can see me because the bright sun is coming through. Keep shifting. So I'm sort of a Jack or Jane of all trades, I guess. We have an organic farm, and I'm an aromatherapist practitioner, and I've taken my Reiki chakra teacher training with Colin. So that's one way we know each other, and I did some of her classes and things before, and she's just awesome and like a magnet. I just sort of, wherever she is something. So and I did a few of the little teacher training courses that were opened up through Wendy Wyman. She was at Parallel Yoga, and she had opened up just some of the aspects of the teacher training, so mostly the meditation, and I'm in love with that. So it was super awesome. And so this opportunity, like many things, like today or yesterday, so here I am, yeah, with all of you. Yeah, so I didn't even turn the heat on in my studio. I came in here and that was like the most like cold practice I've ever had. So stiff. So it's just starting to warm up, but oh my gosh. I was thinking, I'm so cold, my toes are cold, but it's getting warmer in here. So yeah, anyways, so that's me, Jack Jane of all trades. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Natalie.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So, and I've been practicing yoga for 8 years, I think, on and off. I have been very consistent, and then recently not as consistent. I have done a yoga retreat with Colin. I've done the yin yoga teacher training with you 2 years ago, I think it was. 2 years ago, I did that with you. And I have been hunting around for a 2-hour yoga teacher training that fit my life. And this one does. So, yeah, I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks, Liz.
I know.
I'll go next. I'm Megan, and I've had kind of a on and off relationship with yoga for the last 5 years. My oldest daughter's a yoga instructor and just a yogi and the most amazing person in the world. So she kind of introduced it to me. And 5 years ago, sort of just off the cuff, I joined 30-day intensive yoga training after being pretty much a virgin at yoga. I didn't really do it much, but it was her community. I was invited into it, and it was absolutely amazing. And yeah, it changed my life. It was the best thing. And then I came back to Chilliwack out of that community, and I'm a bit of an isolator, and life happens. I taught a few classes through my home, and then yeah, just life kind of took over, and I stepped away from that practice, and I picked up other things along the way. I did my Reiki training, and I started a business, but just always in and out of those practices. I run women's circles, and I do energy work and of various kinds, and I just know it's time. I've been thinking about stepping into different yoga trainings and just doing the 200-hour again, just to kind of get me back into it. And I think sounds like everybody's sort of, this is a last minute thing for them. I know I saw it yesterday, and I started a conversation with Colin this morning about it. So here I am in my basement with like just enough space, kind of quiet, because I live with like a lot of adult family members, so and a baby. So hopefully this works well, but I'm all in, and I'm so excited to be doing this training with you guys and just kind of kickstarting this for myself again. And it's time to get out there and share my skills and my love in this. So I'm really happy to be here. It's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Megan.
Am I the only one that hasn't?
No, I haven't
go.
I don't know if it's freezing for everyone, but I'm sorry I didn't get to hear a lot of what the last person said. So hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. I'm not sure. But I'm Gemma. I think I've been doing yoga in the physical way since I was about 3 years old, as I was recruited at that age to be an Olympic gymnast. And I only really had the physical practice until I met Colin at Oxygen Yoga. And I accidentally ended up in one of your meditation classes. Because I didn't have the mind-body connection until that point. And then since then I've used yoga to kind of be a rehab tool. I had some significant ankle injuries and ripped a few ligaments off the bone, and physio didn't work, but 3 months of yoga did. And then once I was feeling better, I really wanted to follow you, Colin, because that's when we kind of met when you were leaving nursing. And I was very jealous. and I'm a nurse as well, and I didn't have the balls to do it. So instead, I decided to move myself out to Osoyoos and sell my house, and I was just going to kind of freelance and go where the wind took me. And then somehow I landed myself into another full-time position in Oliver, and then rebought another house. So now I'm back into the whole system, and then stressed myself out so bad that I ended up locking my mouth closed for a year. And so literally all I've been able to do is again, and then my body rejected everything I put into it. So then I had to go back into the hospital system, and my brain rewired itself so it doesn't want to accept food because it couldn't eat so long. So I'm actually using a lot of like mindfulness side of yoga for retraining my brain to accept food. So yoga has literally become about 8 hours of my day every day.
Wow.
So I actually just seen Colin's post, I think it was yesterday, Colin, that I read, and then that I couldn't even get online, check anything to figure out if I can even do the course. So I'm just here. And yeah, that's my story.
Wow.
I don't know if you heard it.
Most of it.
No.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you,
I guess
Gemma.
it's my turn. I'm from that little community, Bella Coola, that Lynn was talking about, where there's no yoga studio, but I have been yoga classes twice a week. There is an instructor here, and we do it in the school. But it was sort of like, it wasn't really the best time for me. I'm a school teacher, and it was kind of like on my way home if I stayed at school until 5:30, but by 5:30 I was too tired. But I forced myself to go for a couple of years sporadically. And then in November, my daughter was having a baby in Belfast. So I went to Belfast, and about the second night we were there, we were walking home from dinner, and Janice said, look, there's a yoga studio. And so literally 1 block away from her house, I found this amazing yoga studio. And they had a special on where you could go to, for £10, you could go to unlimited classes for a week. So that's what I did. And I tried all different kinds of yoga and found that I really do like a lot of the aspects of it. And the kind of yoga that I was doing before was not necessarily what I really liked. So then in January, I was still there. She had her baby December 28th. And I was still there, and they had a special on in January. So it was 1 flat fee for the whole month. So I think I went to almost, like I might have missed 4 or 5 days, and some days I went to 2 classes. So I really overdid it with the yoga. And I spent a considerable amount of time thinking about Colin, because we'd had this interesting conversation in the beer garden at the rodeo last summer about possibly coming to Bella Coola to do a retreat. And so I started communicating with her about the possibility of doing that. And we actually decided to do it the weekend for July, but I guess that's probably not going to happen now with the situation in the world. But that's, and then she just messaged me and said, I'm doing this instructor course. Are you interested? And I'm going, I don't know, maybe. So here I am.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, Colleen owns an old cannery in Bella Coola. So it's like actually all off on its own across the whole, I don't know what is it a delta? What do we call it?
No, it's crossing. It's an inlet. We're on the end of a long finger that comes in from the Pacific Ocean. So finger goes in past Bella past Ocean Falls, and we're on that inlet. But to get across to our property from Bella Coola is about a 10, 12-minute boat ride. And that's the only way you can get there.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. So the retreat is going to be amazing when it happens. And then I also thought Colleen possibly could still run it if I'm not there, since it's not cold here because we chose to stay in Costa Rica.
Hi, I'm Shane. Yeah, yoga. I'm not really a yogi, but I am a farmer and permaculturalist. In the permaculture world, it kind of mirrors yoga quite a bit. And so I just want to learn more about it to kind of incorporate permaculture and yoga together more in communities.
Cool.
Yeah, that's that. It's not cold here, it's warm, hot.
I'm sad.
Yeah, when you were saying your toes were cold, I was like, my back was sweating.
I
So
turned
cool.
my fireplace on because I was.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
Also smell barbecue, right?
Yeah, we could smell barbecue going too, so that's really nice. Yeah, so that means Colleen and Gemma are here checking it out, checking out what we're doing and might have some questions. And Megan, Natalie, Liz, and Shane, you guys are all in the teacher training. So Gemma and Colleen and I will talk after, and this is a perfect time for any kind of questions. So I'll start with how we're gonna run it. So the idea is Friday nights from 5 to 9 p.m. your guys' time, and then Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. It's also going to be recorded the whole time, but not recorded on here, though tonight is recorded on here. I have a video camera that I do all my YouTube videos on. So it's going to be recorded like that with a wireless mic and not, like more clear. Like, you know, for you to see me stand up and put my arms up over my head, I have to be like way over there. And is it raining?
Yeah.
It's raining, so it might get loud. So it's going to look different than what you're seeing right now. If you're attending live, this is what you're going to see. It doesn't matter if you're attending live or not. I will be putting all of the recordings up on YouTube. So you can watch them again.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, froze.
Is it back again?
Yeah, it was all robot, but now you're back.
Okay. And it's raining really hard. Can you still hear me okay though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, so yeah, it'll look like Friday nights might be glitchy. But you know, Natalie and I had a whole hour-long conversation the other day, and there was never a glitch the whole time. So it's kind of a, kind of a hit and miss thing. So this is what live will look like. And then the pre-recorded will look a little bit different. They'll all be uploaded to YouTube, and they'll be in the lessons. So some lessons might be 1 hour, some lessons might be 4 hours. And I'll have a Google document going, and in the Facebook group that I've invited you guys that are here for sure too. You'll have access. Here's how it goes. Friday nights are asana labs, except tonight and next Friday. Because next weekend we're going to do anatomy. Each posture will be broken down in the asana lab. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I haven't decided yet if we should like break down the videos into like, here's Tadasana or mountain pose, and then here's down dog, like so that you guys can literally just look up the video down dog, look up the video Tadasana.
That sounds cool.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Will be how to do it yourself, how to cue it for other people to do, how to do hands-on assist, and also like inhale and exhale, like which breaths go with the postures. So it'll be a complete and utter breakdown of each posture. Again, if you attend it live, it'll look like this. If you do not, it'll be broken down per posture. I think that's kind of, as I'm speaking about it, that sounds great on YouTube. And it'll be all set up on a document so that you can like click Tadasana or intro to meditation or, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be laid out really, really simply for you. And if you can't attend live, you might have questions. So we'll come maybe Wednesday nights or something before I do the goddess group, where you have an hour-long question and answer.
Okay.
Zoom so that you guys can ask me like, hey, I watched this video, and so make sure you've always got a pen and paper. And like I didn't quite understand what you meant by pranayama. And then we can dive deeper just to make sure that you guys have a complete and utter understanding of all of the lessons being taught. Okay.
Okay.
So the things that we're going to be going over, Friday nights are going to be asana labs, so breaking down the postures. And then Saturday and Sunday are going to be all of the other things. They're going to be broken into lessons. So like next weekend, we're learning anatomy. But that's all we're learning the whole weekend. But it's experiential, so we're also feeling it in our bodies. Like tomorrow, we're learning the history of yoga, and we're going to learn meditation. And there's going to be a practice every day, a meditation and yoga practice. So if you're attending live, you'll get it all here. And if you're not, it's going to be broken down. Meditation, yoga practice. And it'll be broken down to history of yoga, and then intro to meditation. So does that all make sense?
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then that's kind of how it's, so the only weekend that's going to be like, it's next weekend is anatomy, and that's all we're doing the whole weekend is anatomy, but other than that, it's going to be broken down into lessons. We've got the sutras, and we're not going to learn the sutras all in one weekend because it can be like, it can get a little bit, so we'll break it up into little chunks, like sutras 1 here and sutras 2 there, and kind of all that stuff. So does anybody have any question about the hours?
Lost you again.
Okay.
I haven't heard a lot of what you're saying, I'm going to be honest.
We can always talk after as well, Gemma, just do like voice message on the messenger. Does anybody have any questions about the hours or the schedule?
Well, we talked about my particular situation, so I just want to clarify, and then also for anybody else that maybe had the same question. So won't be like all the time, but like Saturdays and Sundays, I'm responsible on our farm, and especially right now because we sort of locked it down. So it's basically my husband and I working just so we can have enough quarantine time to make sure, we're surrounded by elders. It's like, it's an unusual situation. Like there's our house, great grandma, in-laws, like, and then our farm. And so we have our friend who works on the farm with us who started the worm casting. So we've got like worm hotels. And I've got to, run the dirt from there through a trommel and, lay out the bed. So there's some work, and it has to be done during daylight hours. And I probably just have to do more work than normal. So I don't know if it would be super disruptive if I'm like, okay, I can be here half the time, like 10 till whatever, and then run out and shovel dirt. I just don't want it to be disruptive. Like if I have to do that, should I just wait and stay away and then watch it Monday morning at 6 a.m. or something? Like what's the deal with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. The way I anticipate it is that won't be a problem. Like if you can attend, intro to meditation, but not something else, I don't anticipate that being an issue. And
okay,
we can always talk
and we'll
about
start with meditation.
Yeah, we're going to start with the history of yoga and intro to meditation. And so if it does feel disruptive, then I just say that we all have a very open, honest communication about it, and we can totally talk about it, and then respecting that, then know that you'll be doing most of the stuff pre-recorded and attending the asana labs on Friday, and then attending the question and answer weekly. But I can't see it being a thing. We're all
okay. Yeah. So just let me know, because obviously. Yeah, I'd like to be here while it's happening as much as possible, but I also know that there's other things going on, and so I just don't want to disrupt it for anybody else. So that's all, because it's super easy for me to really on Monday, Tuesday, and hammer through it and be done, by 2. And then I've got the rest of my day to do stuff, right? So whatever.
The experience for the rest of us is really great if we have everybody with us, like during the lives as well. So, and I don't feel like it'd be any more disruptive than a snack break or a bathroom break in person.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disruption that happens, no matter how old you are in the classroom setting. So,
cool.
Yeah, I think the Saturday and Sunday should be fine. For me, it's the Fridays at 5. I get off work at 4:30, and I have to do a whole decontamination shower and everything when I get home. So I might be a few minutes late hopefully not every Friday, but the 5 o'clock is pushing it for me with the new decontamination shower. So that's
great.
a work issue that I have.
And that I had written down, like, if late, what happens? So the idea is to jump on and just get started. And so there's always the opportunity so I think we will start with some sort of practice every time, whether it be meditation or yoga. Since on Fridays we're having asana labs, it might just be annoying to start with asana. So we'll have a meditation, which should probably give you, I see we jumped, so I stopped. And we're back. Okay. So I think the meditation will give you enough time to come and join us, and it'll be just fine. And then we'll start with asana labs. And then any other time, if you guys are joining late, that's totally fine. I'm going to start at 5. I'm going to start at 10. And then whenever you miss, just wait for the videos to come out. And I will be as timely as I can to get the videos up and out ASAP. So I think it'll be totally fine. Okay. And then I talked about the weekly question and answers. So I guess one of the things is we've got for 2 of you guys here are in the goddess group that's happening on Wednesdays, and it feels like a good day to do on Wednesdays. Would anybody be opposed to it being Wednesday at 6 p.m.? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So we'll put it there, and they'll also be recorded. They'll be recorded on Zoom. I think I would just leave them like this and then upload the video this way, because why not? And so they are still accessible. And of course, I'm still here, so you can ask me questions on Facebook Messenger. You can ask me questions in email. You can ask me questions during class, the ones that you're here for, like all that stuff. And if it's a good question, I'll probably keep it. Like if you send it in Facebook Messenger, I'd keep it and bring it up to the class. Like, hey, Natalie sent me a question the other day, and I thought we should all talk about it. So don't not ask either, because questions are really good, and most people have them.
Hey, Colin, sorry. All I heard was Wednesdays are good, and then it completely cut out, and I have no idea what happened after that.
Okay.
So some of us are.
I know Gemma's been having internet issues for days. There she is again. Okay, what?
Yay!
We missed you this time. I said
it's so difficult.
Yeah. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. How does that sound? for question and answer.
Frozen.
Yeah. And so that was the other thing, was like, this is the internet. And in this moment, we're having Gemma having internet issues as well, but it's often me being like, fucking Costa Rica internet. So
I feel mildly
I love the stuck one here. This is a good face. I feel mildly regret. So sometimes the power goes out here, and when the power goes out, that means no internet. So there can be like times when all of a sudden I'll be talking and then it'll go. And I'll message you guys because I do have cell power and we have a Facebook chat. So I'll just message in the group, power's out, and then I'll message in the group, power's back on, and then we can come back on. Everybody's frozen. Okay, and then we can come back on and proceed as normal. And so just knowing that this is the life of technology, and sometimes it's really annoying and frustrating, but that everything's being recorded, so you can always go back and look over everything.
Yay!
Yay! And that's oh, and the very last thing I have written down is like, so a 200-hour teacher training is like, it's an introduction to yoga. And yoga is something that people learn their entire lives. So this is like, oh, this is meditation. I mean, Wendy, that Natalie mentioned, is spent her whole life in meditation teacher trainings and that aspect of things. So you can choose afterwards to go on this very long path wherever you want. And right now it's just like a little, here's meditation, here's the chakras, here's the vayus, here's the asana, here's the sutras, like here's all the different things, and here's just a tiny little bit. And then later, whatever you want is where you're gonna go and you're gonna study further. So just, is there things that you guys want to learn more about that you've heard? Because I can work it into the training. Like, we're going to be learning about Ayurveda. We're going to be learning about sequencing. We're going to be learning about theming. We're going to be learning about language and cueing. We're going to be learning about the sutras and the 8 limbs. We're going to be learning about holding space. We're going to be learning a little bit about the vayus, a little bit about the chakras, a little bit about the koshas and the doshas. And yeah, there's lots that I can fill in myself, or if you guys are interested in something that you, and pranayama, so breathing, I know Liz had mentioned that to me, kind of all that stuff. And so is there anything else that you guys are interested in that you want to learn more about?
I'm super interested in like the mindfulness piece and that meditation piece. That for me is like the piece.
The piece. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm just thinking of anything I want more of. I already know where I'm going after this. Like, it will actually fall in nicely with Wendy's meditation, which I was supposed to start this weekend.
Yeah.
So she's moved it. She's moved it. So I don't know if you mentioned mantra and chanting, because I thought that would be the least that I was interested in. And when we went through that with Wendy, that was just so cool and really falls into that meditation piece too. It just brings you to a beautiful state. So, and I want to get more comfortable, to be honest, you know, as we did it in a group, and I have I have it actually written down in this very book, the one that we did, and I loved it. And then that was my only exposure to it. So I'd be pretty cool.
Nice,
And
great.
I'm willing to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I've avoided a lot, like doing things like this, you know, for way too many years of life, because I didn't want that feel like a loser or whatever. But I don't, whatever. I don't care anymore. I'll be the loser. Yeah. Okay.
I like
Thank
what you said there, Natalie.
Where did you go? I'm really interested. Yeah.
Gemma, can you turn
I
off
got
your
back,
video?
I think.
Yeah.
Yep, you're back. Whoops.
Lost you again.
Can you, Gemma, can you turn off your video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me try
that.
here. Yeah. Stop video.
Okay.
Okay. Is that better?
It might be
I
better.
can hear you now.
Okay. I just wanted to add intention setting onto.
Yeah.
And how about a little bit of ecstatic dance?
See, that scares me. Oh my God. I take it back about wanting to be uncomfortable. Take it back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was the dance, and I'm not comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I'm not ready to be that uncomfortable. I just have all these horrible visuals of, you know, really bad moves. No.
Okay.
I could never be a stripper. It's not happening.
We can learn about it. We can sprinkle a little bit in, and we can leave it like you don't have to dance, but the option to move your body a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
I guess I'm kind of interested in what do you do practically after you've got this training? Like, I find all that you're talking about interesting, but is there anything about how do you organize a restorative yoga class? How do you organize a class for kids? How, you know, the different kinds of together afterwards, or is that's something you learn after this basic course?
Yeah. So we will definitely be experiencing all the different types of classes, as opposed to going to a specific training that's like vinyasa based. So it'll be sprinkled in a lot of different ones. And then what we're going to do is have, it could be one lesson that breaks down all the different types, but the way that I like to do it is just to like have a chunk on restorative. And then we'll learn all about restorative, and not all about restorative, because there's like 50-hour restorative teacher training. But you know, that little sprinkle for you. And then and we'll do that about restorative.
Yeah.
We'll do that about yin. We'll do that about hatha, and we'll do that about vinyasa, which are like the main basics. We can talk about kids, but again, kids is like a specific training. So we can leave it open to, you know, on question and answer about that more. And then right near the end, we do a good chunk on the business of yoga. So practicality of like what you now need to do to get your certification. We're going to talk about Yoga Alliance. We're going to talk about all the legalities, insurance, waivers, liability, like all of those kind of legal issues, for sure. So, and it's a very practical based teacher training as well. So love the philosophy. And if you can't go out and sequence a class, but you know lots about the chakras, I think that you've missed the boat. So we're gonna make sure that, you know, that you feel comfortable with your languaging and your cueing and your sequencing and how to set up a class and what to do. Like, I like to say it clinically, but it's more like practicality. So it's a good mix of like real and then etheric.
Will we have a practicum at the end, or?
Yes, great question. Thank you. So Megan, what we're going to do is have 2 practicums. We're going to have a practicum in the middle, and we're going to have a practicum at the end. My preference is that we'll set your practicums up prior. So you know what day and time you're teaching. The practicum hours that need to be around 5 per person include you attending and giving feedback. So it's great if we can make it that you're teaching our class. And then if you're attending as well, because those count as hours. So the other side is like Yoga Alliance and yoga requirements, because when you're done, you will be Yoga Alliance certified and you'll be a Yoga Alliance registered teacher. So part of that is giving feedback to the other teachers. So we'll have one right in the middle and then one right at the end. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Sometimes I'm like, are you guys frozen or are you listening intently?
Gemma's always frozen.
Gemma's always frozen. Well, she's not frozen when she's not talking. She's only frozen when she goes to tell us something. Okay, accept me. Yeah. So we will talk more about it as we get closer as well. But there's like, let's get the basics in there too, of like how to set up your own sequence. And the first class will not be as long as the second class. So the end is like the final practicum, you know, it's the full hour, you're teaching, hopefully everybody, but if not, I will attend your class. And so we'll make it work that way. And I mean, this is like also kind of an
the hours that we had to do.
The hours you have to do is what?
The hours we need for practicum are how many?
They're 5, I believe. Yeah. And that, like I said, that includes assisting, it includes attending, and it includes teaching, and it includes giving feedback. So.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I got teaching and attending, and then it froze.
Okay, giving feedback.
Feedback.
Assisting. Yeah, those are the 4. I feel your frustration. Yeah.
So what we're not to make you do all the work, but when you set up teach us each of the asanas, will you include like a chair yoga or a really limited mobility?
That's cool.
For us,
Sure.
I mean,
I'd love that.
Yeah, so the way that it goes is like in the asana labs, we're going to break down a certain amount of poses, and then we'll have daily asana practice on Saturday and Sunday, so you can experience the different classes, and then we'll have breakdowns. So maybe what we'll do is we'll have like the restorative, the hatha, the yin, you know, we'll have that, and then we'll have all the other classes kind of question and answer piece. So we can include chair yoga in that. We can include kids yoga in that. And so what we could do is like experience a chair yoga class as one of our asana practices.
That'd be cool.
If you have any more questions, because I don't really teach that one a heck of a lot, but I'd be comfortable teaching a class and then answering the questions that I know around that type of yoga.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just being greedy, thinking if you were like breaking down tree for us, that you could also then say, you know, because I had women circles before where I had a woman that had extremely limited flexibility in it. So, like I said, I'm being lazy. I mean, it'd be really
Okay.
nice if you pop a video for me, but I'm sure.
No, that's totally good because we do the hands-on assist and then the adjustments that you can do in the classes for people. So like all the different varieties. So we could have a chair up here and then just include it in the things that I know that are options, because I have used chairs a lot actually to deepen my own practice. Rodney Yee is an Iyengar teacher, and Iyengar is very props and assist based. So I learned a lot to do with props and how to get deeper into the postures. As much as it seems like it's for people that can't even get into them, it can really like deepen your practice like that. So yeah, I'll teach you the stuff I know about chairs for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So this feels good. Do you guys have any other questions?
Will this work if I can't go live?
No, not at all. Like, and I would say try Gemma and we'll see. And then if it's like the goddess group the other day worked great.
It's because I was on my laptop.
And do you not have your laptop anymore?
I do, but you sent the link and I didn't have Facebook open on my laptop, and so I clicked the link on my phone.
There's a number right above the link, and so you can actually just type that number in. That's what I did on the computer. I didn't follow the link. I just opened Zoom and type. Maybe we could even just write the number down, because once you put it in, you're signed up. It'll always be in there.
Oh.
Yeah, and in our group.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it now.
That's our number always. So I will send it on Fridays, but it's always there. You can go back. I'll post it in our group as well. So that it's just kind of like always there and accessible. But it'll always be that Zoom link or that Zoom chat number. Okay. And then also, we didn't talk about breaks. So we will be taking breaks. In the asana labs, we can have the opportunity, and I think we'll just do it per class. We have the option of stopping for a half an hour and having a half-hour break.
That's on Friday.
On Fridays, yeah. Or if we're like, no, let's power through and just end early, we can always do that as well. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, we'll stop midway for an hour for a lunch break. That's like, it's midday. So, sound good?
What did you say about Sunday? I didn't hear.
On Saturday, Sunday, we'll stop right in the middle of the session for an hour for a break for lunch. And we can still do the same thing if it's like,
gotcha.
It's like, no, I've got food, but I think we would generally just keep it to that so that we can, we do need breaks. It's great to power through, but it's also like you don't retain anything if you're like constantly powering through.
Yeah.
I feel like a half an hour on Friday night might be a little bit much though, because be tired but that's my first. I'll do it. I'm not totally attached, but my
finish it early.
Yeah.
So finish at 8:30.
Totally.
Fine.
That worked too. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Yay. So so we're gonna start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific on here. And again, it'll be recorded. So I have goals to get the videos up that night, but we'll see how it happens. We'll just go with the flow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
So we're going to jump off, but Colleen, Gemma, we can continue our conversations. Gemma, we can, she looks frozen right now, so I don't want to say anything. But yeah, we can continue our conversations tonight, and maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow. And if not, I hope you just had a great yoga class and got all your questions answered.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys.
So
on
see you at
Monday.
10.
Yeah, and I'll see you guys
Cool.
tomorrow morning.
Wonderful.
Yeah. 10 a.m. Awesome. Thank you. Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to
See you
meet everybody.
guys.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Shane.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.